All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon and welcome to today's webinar. This is Josh Phillips and I'm on the support team along with Michael Dodge, the presenter today. For today's agenda, we'll be reviewing navigation, the sales process, and the fallback feature. As usual, we will be going through a few user questions. We will also be mentioning our next up-and-coming oil and gas user group webinar and our onboarding videos program. To ensure the best audio quality for all attendees, we have everyone on listen-only mode. If you have a question, please submit those in the question pane of your GoToWebinar control panel. If time allows, we will answer during today's session. If time does not allow, we promise to follow up offline. Like all LedgeView webinars, today's webinar is being recorded and will be available on demand after the live session. All registered attendees will receive an email later today with an access link to the recording, as well as the presentation slides. Today, we welcome back our presenter, Michael Dodge, Support Consultant with LedgeView Partners.
Thank you, Josh, for that wonderful introduction. Hope everyone is doing well. I know it's been, I believe, 3 months since we last spoke. I hope everybody had a great summer. Unfortunately, it's winding down, but let's get to the information. All right. I'm sure everybody probably noticed how their CRM changed to now Dynamics 365. There's a few navigational updates, and then I just also want to go through some of the tips and tricks and best practices just to get your users a nice fresh look at all the efficiencies they can gain. We're going to cover general navigation, view navigation, and record navigation. So let's jump into 365 and I'll show you how to do that. So right from our main page, this is our home page. The biggest thing I want to touch on with general navigation is this black upper bar. Used to be blue, now it's black, but it still has some of the best features within all of CRM in terms of navigation. Right here, Dynamics 365, this is your home page. So we're going to go over a little bit later on how to set your home page, but once you set it, just click here and it'll take you right to your home page. This little drop-down arrow right next to whatever entity you're on, this is your main menu drop-down navigation. So we click here, and then each one of these, like workplace, sales, service, etc., those are your icons. Under each icon, it has entities. So sales is where you're going to spend the majority of your time. Opportunities, accounts, contacts, order history, etc. So basically your big hitters are all going to be existing right here in sales. Well, now let's say you're in accounts. And you're already in there and you're like, I wonder what I was working on last in terms of an account. Let me find out quick. Just click this little drop down arrow, recently viewed accounts. I'll show you right there. Now, Josh can attest to this. I am a little bit of a nerd when it comes to CRM. I actually do have 2 favorite buttons within CRM, and the next 2 that I'm going to show you are my 2 favorites just because they give you such amazing functionality and efficiencies. The first one is this magnifying glass. It's your global search. The reason why this is so important, I'm sure many of you, including myself, don't know every single account that you have. So if you get a call, you may want to search the account. So if we get one and it's Fairview, we want to search Fairview. Okay, we can see Fairview Manufacturing is in there. And then also Jim Fairview, anybody from Fairview Manufacturing is showing in contacts, and also any opportunities for Fairview Manufacturing are showing, or anything else that has Fairview in them. Now let's say you were looking for Fairview that I told you. You realize, you know what? They're not an existing customer of ours. So, or they are and they're just not in here, you can create a new account, or you can create a new lead as well. And let me just refresh my page here. Unfortunately, a little bit of the feature did not come over, so I apologize for that. Let me just refresh this, because up at the top here is new records. So as you can see here, there's no leads with Fairview in them. So you're going to want to start with the lead for the sales process. So you go to a new record and then lead. And it's going to open up a brand new lead for you to create. And what's so great about this is you can just jump back, hit the back button, you're right back in your search. So really nice, quick, easy navigation here. And also, if you're in this section, instead of having to jump back and maybe go to activities to create an activity, you just want to create a new activity, you can do it right from here. Really quick and easy. And then from here, just simply click back, and that's going to take you right to the last screen you were on. So that's really nice. It's not going to require any additional navigation to get right back to where you were. Now, my second favorite button is actually the recently viewed items button. This is just simply, it looks like a clock. So you click this. The reason why this is so important, you are in so many different leads, opportunities, accounts, order history throughout the day, doing a lot of work. So when you navigate away and you get an email back from a customer that you were working with earlier, and you need to jump back into their account or into that opportunity, just go to your recent records and you can quickly jump right back into an opportunity that you were working on. And as you can see here, it stores a lot of old items. So you're not just stuck for the last 5 that you are on. So you can just click right here. Now you're back in this opportunity. No need to navigate to opportunities, find the opportunity and open it, or click on the search button, search for this opportunity, and then open it. It's literally 2 clicks from wherever you are. So really, really handy. And as you can see here, this black bar is on every single page. There's only a few pages in which you won't see this black bar, and that's just because they're older forms. But 99% of CRM is going to have this black bar on top, and you're going to be able to easily navigate and get all these efficiencies. Now, let's say somebody calls in or you get an email and you know for a fact they are not a new customer. You don't even need to search them. Just click this plus sign. You can create a new lead, new contact, or new activity, all right from here. So if it's a new contact, it's going to bring up this quick create screen. So just enter some quick information. As a reminder, if it's got a red asterisk, that means you have to fill it out before you save it. Then once you save it, it's going to notify you that you created a record. You can go in and view the full record, or you can create a new one. And then for many of you who have attended these webinars over the years that we've been doing this is the advanced find button. It might look a little bit different. It used to kind of have what looked like a data table and then a filter. It is now just a filter, but it still has all the same great advanced find functionality. Now, I mentioned before that I wanted to touch on kind of how to set your home page. This is done through settings and personal options. It's this little gear right here. So click on settings, options, and it's going to take you out to this page. Default pane, that's simply your icon. So sales, equipment tracking, workplace, etc. So set your default pane. So if we want to go sales, and then default tab is going to show me all the different entities within the sales section. So let's say I want to always come to dashboards. I set it to dashboards. And then when I click OK, every time I click on that Dynamics 365 button, it's going to take me to dashboards. The other really important thing in here is, and everyone should do this, set your records per page from 50, which is the default, to 250. Because then you don't have to click on that arrow, many more times in order to get to the number of records that you need. You now can search C250 at a time, which is the most amount. Once you have these set, you just click OK. And then the system is going to update this information. So really, really handy pieces there in personal options. Next, we're going to jump into view navigation. So if I want to go to sales and I want to go to accounts, okay? You do not have to be in a record in order to create a new record. You can do that right from the view. Just click new. You can run a report. Anybody who's run any of our reports knows that once you open the report, it's going to ask you to set some filters. And those look very familiar to an advanced find filtering because it's based on the same logic. Now, a view is simply a saved advanced find filtering logic. So instead of having to go in and recreate that filtering, you can just go to a view, click run report, find your report, and it'll take the filtering right from my active accounts and apply that to the report. Exporting to Excel, there's some really great options. You can do a static worksheet. Basically, it's just If there's many more records, it would have static worksheet, and then static worksheet page only just means it's a standard Excel export. There's also Excel Online. If you have Excel Online associated to your CRM environment, you can do some quick mass edits right within the system. So if you click Open in Excel Online, let's say I want to change the phone number for about 5 of these accounts just to get them up to date. Well, before, this wasn't available where you would have to go into each one, make the edit, because it's a different edit for each one. Well, now you can come in, change this phone number, come in here to AJ Waste, change this phone number, so on and so forth. Once you've made the changes, just click Save Changes to Dynamics 365. Everything's done right in 365. You don't have to navigate out. Then when you're done, just click Return to Dynamics. The changes will be made. It says my changes will be lost because I never hit Save Changes, and they'll be reflected right in your view here. So really, really handy. Chart pane. One thing to always remember is your chart section is going to be jutted off to the side. Standardly, it's to the right side. You can actually change that. You can move it to the top or completely remove it. To access the chart section, you just simply click on the chart section and it'll jut it out like this. And then this is your overflow menu. Anything you don't see here is going to be housed in this section. Now let's jump into a record, and I'm going to show you some quick navigation tips right within the record. Now up top here, you can always create a new record, your standard save and close. A couple things I want to point out to on account, add share of wallet competitor, very, very important. If you're selling against a competitor or you know a competitor has portions of the share of wallet, add a share of wallet competitor. It'll allow you to put in information and even open up an opportunity, and you're directly going against that competitor. Suggestive sell, that's simply if your marketer set this up, but what it can do is really give you some great information. So if this ARCU company is buying specific product segments, we can choose other product segments that we want to add to suggestive sell. Basically, hey, they're buying this, we suggest that you also sell them this. And then there's show order history dashboard. Show 360 main forms is just simply a roll up for a parent account. And same thing with roll up for a parent account for order history. Some really great features right here on the account page. One really cool item here is if you want to see the associated entities to an account, to the specific record, simply click this drop down arrow. All these entities are related in some way to this account. So if I wanted to see the order history just for this company, I click order history. And then I can sort by order history date, and I can see the last thing that they bought just with the click of a button. Next, we're going to jump into the sales process. And the sales process is really the meat and potatoes of CRM and what you do on a daily basis. It's the lead to opportunity transition, where it also creates an account and a contact. So I'm going to demonstrate how to create a lead, then qualifying the lead, and the account, contact, and opportunity that it creates. One really important thing with leads, lead source is predicated on the department selected, so always set that as quickly as possible. So let's jump in. So if I go from my main drop-down navigation to leads, and I'm just going to create a new lead. So from the new lead, I'm going to set my department first. The reason why I point it out is because it's in this upper ribbon, and sometimes it's, or not upper ribbon, this upper section, and sometimes it can get lost. So I'm going to put this in as lubricants, and I'm going to set my industry. Okay. Then I fill in my first name, my last name. Very inventive with my names. Just want to make sure that it's a test account. Company name. And then I can put in job title, email, business phone number is required. So we want to make sure we put that in there. Now, it's really, really important with leads. The more information you have in the lead, the more efficiencies you're going to gain. So if you know their job title, if you know their email, make sure you put it in. Because when you create this account and contact, an opportunity is going to transfer many of these fields over and you're not recreating the wheel. You only have to enter it once, and it's putting it in all these different locations for you. So really, really efficient. So I'm just going to put in job title. I'm going to put in a test email address. And then because it's required, we're going to put in phone number. And then you can also put in mobile phone and fax. Now, because I put in department, lead source now has these pre-selected options for me to choose from for lubricants lead sources. And I'm going to go with bid list. Description, this can simply be something, any annotation notes that you want to put in about this lead that you want to put in the description section. I'm putting in test just so you can see where this moves to within the account screen. And then competitor 1, 2, and 3. If you guys remember, it used to be where this was a subgrid within the opportunity form, and it was, you could add as many as you want, but it was a little bit difficult to report off of. So we added 3 competitors, and this just looks up to the competitor field. So if I put these in, I'll show you when we create the opportunity where they show. And then also here's your contact methods. So their preferences. So if they allow email, don't allow email, you can put that information in there as well. If there's a campaign associated to this lead, you can enter a source campaign. And then they want to make sure that you put in an address. So not the street is required, but definitely the city and the state are required. So I'm going to put this information in, and it's going to give you also a nice map of where it's located. Now that I'm comfortable with everything, as you can see, qualify is locked. You cannot change this field. That's very important because you can't qualify a lead until it's created. The lead doesn't actually get created until the first time I hit the save button. So I hit save, and now it's creating my lead. So once it's created, so once this bar down here stops saying saving and completes, like it is now, it's going to put their name at the top here. And now I can change this qualify to yes. Now you have to change this to yes. Then you have to hit save. Until you hit save, it's not going to do anything. Now here it says, please do not press any keys. Your lead is being qualified. The system is creating account, contact, and opportunity. The opportunity will soon display on the screen, which lets you know the qualifying process is complete. That's a very important message because it does take probably about 7 seconds, as you saw, to create an opportunity. But one thing to keep in mind is it's creating an account, a contact, and an opportunity, which in real time, creating all 3 of those just on your own manually with very, very limited information is about 5 minutes each. So 15 minutes total is what that would normally take. This is doing it in 7 seconds. So it's actually doing it really, really quick and pulling over some great information for you. So during that process, it creates an account and a contact. And there's some specific fields that it pulls over, which I'm going to jump in and show you. But for account, it pulls over that company name. So that company name we filled out is now showing as the account name. The newly created contact is now set as the primary contact for this account. Pulls over the industry, the ship to address, main phone number, fax, and then I'll show you where that description field shows in. And then with contact, pulls in that first name and last name, their job title, associates them to that newly created account, associates the email, all 3 phone numbers, address, their marketing preferences. So we kind of said allow emails, don't allow emails. And then also description. So let's jump on in and I'll show you that. So from the opportunity, we just simply click on LVP testing as the customer. And as you can see here, pulled over industry, the account name, the main phone number. The originating lead is always tied back to the account because that's what created this account. Pulled over my ship to address, put my test information right here under description. And these are just some generic settings that we put in there. So you can put in a business description, tax information, etc. And then if we scroll down, there's the contact that we created. And then there's the opportunity that was created as well. So really great information that pulls right over. Now let's go to our primary contact and I'll show you what filled in there. So if we go to our contact, it pulled over their first name, last name, job title, associated them right to that account, business phone, mobile phone and fax can also pull over, the email, and there's your originating lead always coming across and being associated. And then it's pulling in the address as well. And then down here, here's your marketing preference information, and here's your description that you put in from the lead. So really great information. This lead is essentially already done because this contact's already done because you put the information in the lead. So very important. Next, we're going to take a look at the opportunity. So when you qualified that lead, it became a newly created opportunity. I'm going to go over the main fields that come across, some really important fields that you want to make sure you fill in, and then I'm going to show you the business process flow. So I'm going to go to my recently viewed items here, and then I'm going to go to my LVP testing opportunity. You can see the lubricants came over. Want to make sure you fill out brand and opportunity before you save because, again, they are required fields. And they're important for reporting information as well. So that we can put opportunity type, but this is brand new business. And as you can see, it pulled over my account, my contact, pulled over my description. And here's my competitors right here, all the way pulled over from the lead. Now, some really important pieces of information to make sure that you fill in: estimated close date. This is when you feel like this customer is going to close the business with you. So I feel like this is going to close by 9:30. So 9:30:17. It's a required field, so you want to make sure you put it in there. And then estimated revenue, gross profit in units. The reason why we want to fill something in here, even if you don't know the gross profit or you only know revenue or units, put something in here, because what it's going to do is it's going to help you and your sales manager know, what do I have coming down the pipe, when is it closing, and how much. So that's some really important information to make sure that you put in. And then we hit save because we've now added this information. And then you can also add a quote and different activities to it as well. Now, the business process flow steps, each one of these is required before you move to the next stage. Another new item as well, you have to, or not new item, another item that you need to make sure that you pay attention to is you need to move through each sales stage before you close as one. You don't want to just click here and close as one yes. You're going to get an error. You need to fill out these pieces. So did I set my first appointment? Yes, I did. Hit the next stage. It's going to go to needs and solutions. Did I create a quote? Yes. Next stage. Presentation. Did they accept my quote? Yes, they did. Now I'm in activate and transition. As soon as it rolls over to the next one, oops. Sorry, product segment became required because I got to the presentation stage. So I want to make sure that I put in the product segment. And then I can go to the next stage. Now I can close it as one. If I click yes, it's going to pop open this screen. As you can see, you put the close date in here, and then automatically put in my actual revenue, gross profit, and units that I had under the estimated section. Now, you don't have to wait to the end. If you happen to lose this opportunity, you don't have to get all the way to the end. You can close it as lost at any point right here. Next, we're going to touch on opportunity fallback. What is fallback? Fallback is simply a holding stage. So if your opportunity is on hold, it's not moving forward, but it's not closed. It's not closed as lost. You simply set it as fallback, and I'll show you how to do that. One thing to keep in mind is most reports, charts, and dashboards and views aren't going to show opportunities in the fallback setting. Now, that little subgrid on your account form, however, is going to show it, and it does have a little notation that says includes fallback. And if you guys are aware, the number of days an opportunity is in the sales stage is kept track, and there's various reports and dashboards about this information. That number still grows even if it's in fallback. And now there are some exceptions to this. So after I show you how to set fallback, we'll go through those as well. So let's say I've been working with this customer and I go, you know, this is on hold. I'm not ready to close it as lost, but I need to put it in fallback. Just simply set fallback to yes and hit save. That's all you have to do. Now it's in the fallback setting. So it's really that simple. Now, some exceptions of where fallback still does appear. So in other words, I was saying that fallback is mostly pulled, anything in fallback is pulled out of reports, dashboards, and charts and views. Here's some exceptions. Open opportunities, as I said, lists on the account screen and the account 360 form. They're going to include all opportunities, including fallback, but it's going to have a column stating it. Report 530 and 530B, they include fallback opportunities, as does 500 and 510, which are usage reports. And then report 303 lists all open opportunities, including fallbacks, unless you specifically filter it to not include fallback. Because it's a report, you can filter it specifically. But a column for fallback's been added so you can see if it's in fallback or not. And then report 301B, the opportunity close rate, is based on date created. That includes all your opportunities, as does the win rate charts that analyze opportunities created in the last 24 months. It's going to include all your opportunities. Now, so for some dashboards and views that specifically talk to fallback, the aged opportunities and my aged opportunities will show your fallback. It will show different pieces, different ones that are in fallback by owner. So it's really a handy tool. And then views, there's an open opportunities including fallback, so to show all of them. And then you can filter to just show open fallback opportunities in my CRM, and then just ones that I own in the my open fallback opportunities. So that's all for our main topics today. Next, let's jump into some user submitted questions. Our first question is, how does our IT department access the 900 integration instruction sheet? Excellent question. To access this, you simply go from your main navigation that we touched on earlier, click on Workplace, and then and then click on Documents. And then scroll all the way to the bottom, and you'll see 900 integration file layouts for energy solution. Simply open that up. If your IT department doesn't have access to CRM, you can send this file to them. It's just an Excel file. Our next question is, can you add a customer's logo on the quote section? It's a definite yes, you can. However, this would be done through the supplier logo. So you basically add a new supplier logo record, name the record after your customer. I say this is possible with a caveat. Really, you should only do this for your 1 or 2 customers that you work with frequently, because think about how many logos that you're then maintaining. All your supplier logos and then all your customer logos. It can become a bit overwhelming. Next, we're going to touch on how do you navigate the territory management report. Specifically, how do you look up qualified opportunities and leads? How do I look up my active accounts? And then how can I make appointments and then download the address and phone number of that account? And then can I print this out? So let's jump into CRM and I'll show you how to do this. So we simply go to our sales and then dashboards, and it's dashboard 98 is territory management. So to that first question, how do I look up my qualified opportunities and leads? You're really only looking at accounts and leads within territory management. Now, it's all predicated on lists. So if you have a list or a view, excuse me, that shows all accounts that have an open opportunity, you can then basically see your open opportunities by account. And then for leads, map accounts or leads in a view. So you can choose all these different system views, and then it can also have personal views as well. So you simply choose any of these. So if you want to do my active accounts, then here, if you happen to choose active accounts showing everything, you can then tell the system, oh wait, only show the accounts that I own. My active accounts is technically already that. Then you just click show map. It's going to crunch the data, and then it's going to spit this information right back out to you. Now to the question of, can I print this out? you can definitely print this. You would print the whole page. What I would recommend doing is probably zooming in on a specific area that you're in, and then taking a screenshot of the map and then printing it. It's going to be the best look for you. And then one of his last questions was, how can I make an appointment and then download the address and phone number? You can simply make an appointment right here by selecting the account, click schedule an appointment. And it's going to bring up this nice little appointment screen. So you can put your date in here. So if I do August 30th, 12:45 to 1:45, give it a title, and then some body information in here, just some extra text, click OK. Now you've created an appointment. You can also export this list. As you see, it shows the main phone number, the street address, the city, state, zip code. So you can export that. You have all that information right there for you. Some other items that you can do in terms of filtering out, you can go, within a radius of an account. Simply choose an account. Okay, I want to show me all accounts within 20 miles of Fairview Manufacturing. Just look up account. We're going to do Fairview. Uncheck this. Search. Click Fairview Manufacturing. Click OK. Uncheck only show my accounts. Show map. And then it's going to show you everything within 20 miles. And you can change your radius as well. You can also do the radius of a lead, and you can also do it within the radius of a specific address. So if you know you're going to a specific location, you want to see all your accounts close to that, just simply type in an address. And that's how easy it is to do territory management and how to navigate it.
Thank you, Michael, for the great content as always. Thank you also to the users who submitted questions. Please know that Ledgeview is always here to help with whatever we can. Please continue to ask your oil and gas related questions to make sure these webinars are successful. We also wanted to bring to your attention our onboarding videos we just started offering. This is one video a week for 6 weeks and is geared to assist new hires in being successful with the oil and gas product. Examples of the videos are navigation, instructions on the sales process, and more. If interested, please let us know by emailing us at crmsupport@ledgeviewpartners.com. As always, please reach out to CRM Support with any of your questions. Our next oil and gas webinar will be October 24th. Our topic for that webinar will be the Outlook client. Please join Michael Dodds on Thursday, September 7th for driving user adoption. Mike will be providing some great tips on how you can drive and increase the user adoption of your organization. Also, are you interested in marketing? Join us with our partner Acton for Dynamics. What you need marketing automation to on the Thursday, September 14th from 1 to 1:30. On behalf of myself, Michael, and all of us at Ledgeview, we thank you for taking the time to attend our oil and gas user webinar today. We look forward to seeing you at our next webinar. Have a great day.